Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today, we're talking about the Topo Atmos, Meg.
Real simple, real easy. Didn't mess that one up.
Yeah, there was no like 3-sentence name. It's not the Topo, Flat Fly, Tempo, Zipfoam, Evo 5.9, Atmos.
Yeah.
It's just Topo Atmos. This is one of those shoes, if you like foot shape, you're getting a foot shaped shoe.
Real wide, real wide.
So let's start at the top, Meg. We always start with the upper. What did you think of the Atmos upper?
The Atmos upper, I'm digging it. I mean, it's not anything too crazy. You've just got a pretty breathable mesh here. The tongue is not gusseted, which, you know, not our favorite thing in the world, but didn't really have an issue with it. And yeah, there's some decent padding around the collar and tongue, so generally pretty comfortable.
So Meg talked about the engineered mesh, which I felt was very breathable on my foot. The other reason it doesn't need a gusseted tongue is Topo does a really interesting thing with their tongue. They put 2 lace locks on either side of the tongue so the laces actually go through and hold it in place. Why more brands don't do it? I don't know. It's a really nice feature of their tongues. I've noticed holds the tongue in place, does a great job. And then for people who do have wide feet who don't like a gusset because it cuts into the midsole area, this works.
This is your jam.
While we're saying it's a wide toe box, it does narrow out in the throat of the shoe a little bit, so it's not everybody's wide foot shoe. Like Jarrett, he's got that brick shaped foot. So as this cuts in, it would be a little more narrow than maybe he'd like on the throat of the shoe there. Other than that, I think you're gonna get that wide toe splay feel that they're looking for in this shoe.
I'm always surprised when you like the fit of a shoe like this just because you have such a narrow foot. I love this wide toe box for my feet, but it worked for you as well.
Do you like how wide toe box shoes look on your feet?
I less like that.
So you're willing to suffer for your art.
I will definitely do that. Also, not the biggest fan of this colorway in general.
Ooh, but mine is fantastic.
Yours is much better.
Do you think that your impression of this shoe would be better if you had gotten this colorway?
Here's the thing that I've learned to do. Just don't look down when you're running, and that way you're not distracted by how not cute it is on your foot.
I happen to think this one was real cute on my feet. It's got a nice off-white bone color here, a margarita lime accent, and then like Caribbean Sea at the bottom. I'm ready to go.
Where are you, at the beach?
Yeah, I'm ready to go have a margarita in this shoe and just enjoy the miles. Let's get down to the Zipfoam midsole.
So you've got a nice slab of what they're calling Zipfoam foam underfoot here. It's 38 in the heel, 33 in the forefoot, so 5mm drop, and it's a generally cushy, responsive foam.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like I found that I was wanting this to be a little squishier, a little bouncier. When I did step in on this shoe, I was like, oh, this feels really nice and comfortable. Obviously, if you're a walker or somebody out there, comfort abounds in the just stepping in and walking. Where it firmed up for me though was on the run, and I felt like the foam just didn't have that like extra bounce that I wanted. When we talked to our other reviewers, we have Karen, we have Robbie, we have Meaghan. Y'all thought it was just fine.
I thought this was what I expected it to be. This is not a shoe that I was super excited about, nor am I super excited about it now, but I think it's a generally good trainer. I think the materials feel quality. I think the foam is responsive enough for those daily runs. It's not something that I'm gonna pick up for my fast days. It doesn't feel that bouncy, but it's just a nice cruiser.
I will say compared to other Topos, I did feel like this foam felt really good. What I do also love about this shoe is the arch in it. I really like a supportive arch. This shoe has it, you're gonna feel it, especially when you first get the shoe on your feet. You're gonna go, oh, okay, I noticed that there's some arch support, which I do feel helps with foot fatigue and just in general giving you a nice molded feel and giving personality to the midsole. This one does it. Some people, if you're sensitive to having your arch supported, you may not love it. I have high arches, so this is a treat. You have flat arches pretty much.
I have flat feet.
And so what did you think of the arch support?
You know, it's not something that I really noticed either way, so.
All right, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Outsole rubber.
They got it.
Yep, plenty of it.
It's there, and it works.
like nothing to write home about. It
Yeah.
wasn't extra sticky or non-sticky or anything.
Just pretty standard rubber on the outsole.
It does look like the quality will hold up. I do think that you're going to get the mileage out of the shoe that you're looking for if you're going for like 300 to 500 miles. Between the cushioning and that rubber, I don't think it's going anywhere. I believe the Zipfoam is a EVA based foam. Even though I'm saying it doesn't have a ton of responsiveness, it does have a nice cushion feel. With the inundation of high stack shoes with cushion, this one doesn't feel as soft and cushy as what I'm expecting from what we're seeing from some other brands. That doesn't mean it's bad, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about with stack height here?
It's 38 in the heel, 33 in the forefoot, 5mm drop. My women's size 7.5 comes in at 8.1 ounces or 203 grams. So again, it's right in that like middle ground area, not heavy, not light, just kind of right in there with the daily trainers.
Yeah, my size 10.5 weighs 10.7 ounces or 305 grams. Maybe that's some of the area where I was feeling like the shoe isn't as responsive. It might be because it's on the heavier side and without that bounce off the toe. Like I'm trying to find the line here because it's certainly not, I wouldn't say that this is a bad shoe by any means. I'd say it's right in the middle. It just didn't wow me.
I think that pretty much sums it up right there. It's not a bad shoe. It's just not anything to get really excited about. There's no feature of this shoe that I'm like, yes, that's what I want to lace up.
I can tell you though, I do believe there's a market for the shoe, and the person that I think this is one if you need that wide toe box and you want a little bit of drop. So you got that 5mm drop and a wider toe box. And I also think this foam is going to react very well to some of our heavier runners, like we have Chad, the Clydesdale runner, or maybe you need that extra.
He's reviewing this too.
Yeah, you don't want that really squishy shoe when you're that big because you just kind of sink into it. This one's going to give him the kind of support he needs. So I'm going to guess that he's going to give this a really good review.
One final note, this guy comes in $160.
Oh, that's an important final note.
You know, right in there with the daily trainers, like we said. There's nothing eccentric about this guy. He's kind of right in the middle there.
Fits in right in.
Yeah.
What are you going to give this shoe?
For me, this one comes in at a yellow.
It doesn't have the wow factor for me, but it's certainly not a bad shoe.
Right.
It's just going to come up to, I think that it could go to a green again if your foot needs his toe box.
Yep.
I think it goes to a red if you are not needing a narrow toe box and you don't want a big slab of foam underneath your feet. It's a perfectly fine daily trainer if I had to wear it for my daily miles every day. Okay. All right, Meg, so that wraps it up for the Topo Atmos. Anything you want to add?
That's it. That's it.
You don't want to tell people to like the video?
Oh, that stuff.
All right, why don't we do that?
If you haven't yet, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't do that. Follow us on Instagram. We have a Strava group. We have 2 podcasts, The Drop, which comes out every Friday and Monday, and Fuel for the Soul with sports dietitian Meaghan Featherston, which comes out every other Tuesday.
Did you say to like this video?
I did.
All right.
I already said that.
All right, if you missed that part, all right, that's
The
it.
replay?